Welcome, everybody, to LFI, Leaders Forum International. This is the first episode, and I'm here with the first host of LFI Savannah. That's Tersh Blissett. Tersh is the owner of Icebound. He founded, what was the first company? TriStar Heating and Air and Plumbing. And he's a local leader in the community. He does a lot of stuff with the Small Business Chamber of Commerce here in Savannah. He was integral in the Operation Health last year. So you've done a lot of cool things to help Savannah out, man.
Do my part.
Well, don't be so modest, you know what I mean?
Do what anybody would
if
they were asked.
Yeah.
Operation Empower Healthcare, Greater Savannah was a blessing. Your wife was a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
My wife was a part of it. I was kind of voluntold by my wife because she's in part of the military. So she allowed me to take charge and part of the community outreach portion of that event.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's awesome, man. That's awesome. So why Savannah? Like why do you work in Savannah and support Savannah so much?
Well, Savannah's home. I was born and raised. I was actually born and raised out in Effingham County.
Okay.
But I have been, basically a Savannahian my entire life.
Yeah.
If I'm not hanging out, growing up in Savannah, I was at Tybee, being
Mm-hmm.
a beach kid. So pretty much my entire life, I've been in and around between Savannah and Atlanta.
Yeah.
So I like both of them. They're special places.
Yeah.
But Savannah has treated me very well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Savannah's a good city. I love it here. That's why I'm happy to start this show here. Hopefully it becomes a movement. But yeah, I love Savannah and the spirit in Savannah, and you're a part of that. Just the spirit of helping.
Yeah, it's kind of the Southern hospitality thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it really shows through. I mean, we're a hostess city, and we do our very best to make everybody feel comfortable when they're in our town.
That's right. Yeah. And I got that as soon as I moved here. I'm only here. I've been here for 2 years, but I feel at home already. Just
Good.
because the business community's reached out and just attempted to help me come up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And once again, you're a part of that, man. So
Nice.
LFI Leaders Forum International is it's a community for local leaders. It's going to be an interview show where we reach out to the people who don't have a chance to tell their story, even though they're doing good things in the community. And yeah, so that's why. So why did you want to be a part of LFI?
Well, that's the main reason. I want to be able to say thank you to the people that don't hear thank you enough. There's a lot of business leaders that will, at the drop of a hat, donate, anything you ask, and very rarely do they actually get recognition for it or a public thank you for that.
Right.
And so that's one of the best parts about this entire program is being able to tell those people thank you in front of everybody and letting everybody know what these business owners, managers, and individuals who are very important to the city of Savannah, let Savannah know what they do as a role in the community.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Okay, so you were in the military before, right?
Well, right out of high school, I joined the Air National Guard here in Savannah.
Nice.
And I was in there for one duty, one tour. So,
Okay, awesome,
yep.
Awesome. So how did you go from that to being a business owner?
By mistake. I left out of the military, and I was in the National Guard, so I wasn't full-time, but I happened to train the majority of the time that I was in. So for the most of the time, I was pretty active in the military. But as soon as I got out, I went to work at International Paper with my father. He was a shift worker there, and I thought that that's something that I really wanted to do because that's what he had always done. Mm-hmm. He was a Boilermaker. He worked with his hands. I really liked cars. I'm super mechanically inclined, and so I thought that I was going to work with my hands, there.
Yeah.
But it took me less than a year to realize that shift work was definitely not my forte. Mm-hmm. And so I reached out to a friend of mine who was in the air conditioning industry, and asked him if he could get me a job where he worked, and he did, and the rest is history. You know, I worked my way up through that company, and after just about 8 or 9 years, I left there, and basically started another company. I went to work at a separate company, and then wasn't there for too terribly long, and then partnered up with Tim Phillips, and we worked together with TriStar.
Okay, awesome, man. So I've interviewed a lot of people. It seems like the people who are some of the most successful do have that military experience. Like, what do you think the correlation is there?
Military is a double-edged sword. It can be really good or really bad. I have some really good friends who are prior military, and they give me a run for my money. I don't know. And then there's other people who are super regimented, who are military. And if anybody out there is listening and they're military, they know exactly what I'm talking about. So, the military will instill some discipline as long as you allow it to, or you can turn around and rebel, and do the exact opposite. But yeah, I am thankful for the military. You know, a lot of my family members are military. I kind of knew that I was going to be military growing up. I had every intention of joining the military straight out of high school. So,
especially in this area, because there's so many bases around here.
Right.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and that's just something I noticed recently. Like some of the, this is the most successful people in the world do have that military background in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, some sort of structure. You know, if it's not actual military, maybe it was a military school growing up, or some sort of structure in that aspect.
Yeah.
But you don't have to have the military to be successful either.
That's true. That's true. I don't.
Well, look at you.
Then again, I'm not successful.
Whatever.
So LFI, once again, it's all about, I just want Savannah to be a better place, for business owners, I want people to start taking action. Everybody has a problem they see that Savannah has, whether it's like school system or hunger or homelessness, or, there's something that people want to change. And I want people to start taking action. So what is something that you would love, like the listeners out there who see this, and they want to take action on a project, like what is something you would love to organize and see change in Savannah?
I want to see, it's funny you asked that question, because we have a project coming up soon with the Small Business Chamber that I'm extremely passionate about. I have four children myself. The oldest one's about to turn 10, and the youngest one is about to turn 5.
Okay.
So she's 4. And I have to keeping track of the ages. Education within our children. My wife has taken on the role of homeschooling our children.
Okay.
So that's a fun balancing act there. But we are with the Small Business Chamber, Savannah. We are getting ready to do a junior Shark Tank type thing for our kids here in the town in Savannah. And our goal is to find those children, obviously under 18, that have an idea, have an entrepreneurial, mindset, and basically hash it out and see who has the best projects. And then so our goal is to get at least $10,000 donated. We're on our way there, and be able to donate that $10,000 as seed money to start these kids' businesses.
Awesome. So would you give like 10 students 1,000, or would you give?
No, I think that we're going to go in the 3-tier level. So first, second, third. Obviously, first place is going to get a lot more. They're also going to get coaching from us for a full year. So all of the board members have donated their time for a year to coach the children.
Wow, that's awesome.
So yeah,
that's awesome.
Entrepreneurial. I mean, it's easy to say that you're an entrepreneur, or it's the new hashtag. And it's really a tough job. And so our goal is to teach them young.
Yeah.
When I was in school, there wasn't a class for entrepreneurs, and so I've had to learn from the School of Hard Knocks, and you know, if I can curb someone's pains, then I'll do it. You know.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I think that's a tremendous idea. Yeah, and you know, hopefully we can maybe we can get the kids on here.
Yeah,
You know, that'd be cool. The winners, and let them talk about give them a chance to market themselves as well. That'd be pretty cool.
Hear what they have to say about their business.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's really cool, man. So I think that like you said, there wasn't a entrepreneurial class. I haven't seen one. I just met a young guy who said he graduated with like a entrepreneurship degree from high school or something like that.
You know, I've heard that some of the colleges are starting that degree program. I didn't know the high schools were, but you know.
Yeah, he says he had something like that, but I don't know. I don't know if he learned anything, you know, you know, because I barely learned how to balance a checkbook, you know,
There you go.
you know. But that's so that's awesome. That's
yeah,
awesome.
one of the things that we'll take full advantage of having homeschooled children is my older boys are going to be going to networking events with me. So being on the board with the Small Business Chamber, I'm able to take, you know, one at a time. I can take the older boys to those events with me so that they can learn how to do that as a business person. You know, because that's an awkward situation if you haven't done it before. You go out there and you start networking with people, and a lot of times, I know whenever I first started it, you're hanging out in the corner until you, especially me, I'm an introvert, and so just hang out in the corner until somebody else that's typically an extreme extrovert comes over to the corner and pulls you into the room, and those are the best people. We love having those people, you know, in our group, so that it gives us an excuse to go talk to people.
Yep. LFI is made possible by the JC's Savannah JCI Junior Chamber International. There is a local service organization that does service projects locally and only made up by members who are between, I want to say 21 and 40. It's either 18 and 40 or 21 and 40. But yeah, so it's a cool organization. I'm a member, and they're always looking for ways to help and give back. And yeah, so thank you, JC's. A couple more questions. So like, what does leadership mean to you?
Leadership, guiding, you know, not managing people, not telling people how to do something, showing them the proper way. Sometimes there's confusions. We with Icebound, we do a lot of things remote. A lot of our employees work remotely. So sometimes there's questions and sometimes things aren't 100% clear. So I'll create a short YouTube video and just debrief in the situation, and then just send them a link to the YouTube video. And then so that, you know, clears up a lot of things with those individuals. So we all have our moments, but, you know, patience is very important with leadership, and just being a guide, whether it's a personal guide in their life and being uplifting just in general. Even whenever, like there's times whenever I'm just struggling internally, and I'll talk to my guys, and like my wife will be in there and she'll say, you know, you sound like a different person when you're on the phone with your service techs. And I was like, yes, because, you know, they're in a hot attic. They don't want to hear my frustrations through the phone immediately. You know, as soon as I pick up the phone, they need to feel like I'm not in a terrible mood, or, you know, even if I am in a terrible mood, which I try not to be, but
it happens.
It happens to the best of us. But whenever it's my goal is to project to them that you know, less stress. I want to take stress away from them, and take questions out of the equation. So we're always going to have questions when it comes to our job. But if we can create the policies and procedures, like, you know, Michael Gerber, you know, E-Myth Revisited. So creating the policies and procedures so that everything's repeatable. That takes a lot of stress off of an employee, because a lot of times they're not sure what to do, and then if they keep calling you, that becomes stress. You're like, you keep calling me and you're asking me the same questions over and over again. But if you just made videos with your policies, because that's super simple now. I mean, you have a phone, you know, a computer, laptop can do it. videos are super simple, and just make a short policy. Because a lot of times, I understand the policies and procedure books, within a small business.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually like the last thing you're thinking about doing.
Right.
As typically your technician or your entrepreneur starts the business as a technician,
mm-hmm.
and then you hire people, and then you move into the management side of things, and then so you never actually wrote down everything you did as a service tech
mm-hmm.
or a technician. You just keep showing them how to do it, so
mm-hmm.
they kind of interpret it their way. So it's, if you just create those policies and procedures, it helps take some of the question out of the equation.
That's right. That's right. And I think that's brilliant to do it on YouTube. I've thought about making videos, but I've also started writing things down as well, like policies and procedures. But yeah, that's a great idea. Just
so
YouTube it.
Our videos, I try to keep them like 5 minutes or less,
mm-hmm.
and I'll make a video, and it uploads every morning to their iPad.
Mm-hmm.
So it's every one of our procedures uploads to their iPad. So that's the first thing they look at in the morning is a new short 5-minute video of policy or procedure.
Gotcha. Tersh, thank you.
Yeah,
you
man.
are
Thank you.
officially the host of LFI Savannah.
Pressure.
No pressure, man. You have the responsibility to tell the stories of the business owners in Savannah who are doing the best work.
That's my goal. I want to give recognition where it's due.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many people that I know of that will just give and give and give, and a lot of them don't want people to know that they'll do it.
Right.
They're doing
Right.
it, but
people need to know.
They do, and
Yeah.
and it's nice to hear kind of the backside of why they do the things that they do.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
like me, I'm not afraid to tell anybody about any of our hiring processes and procedures and anything, because I think that's if more people did it that way, then you would have less turnover, less unhappiness, and happier
true.
workplaces. And so
That's true.
you knew what to expect prior to the person coming on board.
Right.
It's an extremely stressful transition,
Mm-hmm.
changing jobs and moving. That's the two, most stressful things I
Right.
can think of pretty
Right.
much.
That's true. That's true, and I've done a lot of it, so I agree. Cool, man. So showing people giving the appreciation where it's due. Basically, like giving people their roses while they can still smell them.
Yeah, that's the way it's at.
Yeah. So I mean, and that's the goal of LFI, and I'm glad you're on board with that, because I mean, if we really want to make America great again, it's going to be doing stuff like that. Like, these are the people that are really making America great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, these are definitely people that are uplifting others.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Tersh. You're officially the host of LFI Savannah, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you guys for watching. You can go to leadforit.com to check out this video. Go subscribe on YouTube. Just wherever you go, search for Lead for It. All right. Peace out. Thank you, guys.